Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel and welcome to the Ultimate Racing League. We are still in Croatia. We are still at the Dragon Trail Seaside Track, and this is race 2 of the day. Now, we did finish race 1 in the dark, and I was kind of hoping it was going to be daylight for the second race, but the race stewards have said no, we want the guys to get back out on track as soon as they've had something to eat. So they did a quick grab of a sandwich, cup of tea, and they are in the cars and back out on track again. So it is night time. One good thing, Captain Slow has got his technical issues sorted out. The mechanics have been working hard during the race 1 he had to retire from, but they've sorted out the issues and he is back on track, and as you can see, he's in pole position. We will go through the grid in a second. I do want to say, although this is a sprint race, pretty much like the first one, but the difference being now they do have to make a pit stop, and it is medium and hard tyres that have to be used in this race. So there is a mandatory stop, and it is only mediums and hard tyres that can be used in this race. Pit window roughly going to be around lap 6 up to around about 10, something like that. And that's when the guys have to come in and do their pit stops. Just before we go down the grid, I do want to say a big thanks to Harry Poppins. He's the one who saved this replay and has shared it for me, so I can then do these commentary for you and bring you the race. So thank you very much to Harry Poppins for doing that for us. So let's get on with it. Let's get down that grid. I'm not going to do the grid walk because it's just too dark out there and we can't see anything anyway. So we're just going to have a look at the back end of the cars this time, shall we? On pole position after the repairs that they've carried out, Captain Slow finds himself on pole position. Hoppers is in second, Malpiece is third, fourth is Bazza, fifth is Castuan, sixth is DB, Pete is seventh, Scott is eighth, Enzo Jack ninth, Aussie Rooster is 10th, Brownie 11th, Big Dan 12th on the grid, Wayne G 13th, and our winner of race 1, Harry Poppins, finds himself all the way down at the back in 14th. So he's got his work cut out for him. If he wants to win this race, he's got to get past the 13 cars in front of him. 15 laps. Let's get this race going, shall we? We'll sure ask Captain Slow to get us underway. I've mentioned it's already at a rolling start. We'll have a look at everybody's tyres in a second. We'll just get the race going, shall we? And we'll see where everybody is. We don't know who they are because, well, it's just headlights, isn't it? There you go. Captain Slow down towards turn 1. He's got Hoppers on the inside, although I don't think Hoppers looks like he's going to challenge him for it. He's just taking that line as Captain Slow goes through to the chicane for the first time. Malpiece goes alongside Hoppers and gets up into second. Hoppers going backwards at the minute. I do know he doesn't like driving in the dark as Bazza goes through to third, Hoppers into fourth, Castuan in fifth. Oh, as Castuan goes off and Pete goes off with him, Castuan tries to rejoin. Bit of pushing and shoving going on. We're not going to go back and have a look at that because everybody is still going in the right direction, although it is getting very touchy-feely out there in the middle of the pack. Enzo Jack and Scott, Hoppers, they're all going side by side. Scott still got that wobbly wheel nut and he's swaying from side to side, which makes it very awkward for everybody else. And we've had somebody else has gone off now. I'm going to go back and have a look and see who that was. Was it Castuan again? Let's just have a look. It all got very touchy-feely, didn't it, in these first few turns, and it looks like Castuan, well, he's okay so far. Hoppers goes off, he comes back on and has a bit of a nudge with Aussie Rooster. Aussie Rooster keeps going, and then Frowny has a bit of a door bashing session with Castuan, who ends up in the kitty litter. So unlucky for Castuan. Wow, it is all kicking off in this early few stages as they go. Oh, and somebody else has gone off. It's Frowny has gone off this time. We shall have a look at this one, but we can't keep going backwards and forwards. You can see it's 3 or 4 wide at one point. Bit of a touch from Harry Poppins, nothing too drastic, I don't think. Aussie Rooster follows him, he goes off as well. Hoppers then goes through to 11th, says thank you very much. Aussie Rooster in 12th, Frowney 13th and Castor in 14th after his mishap. So back up to the race leader, and the guy staying out of trouble is Captain Slow. We've got Bazza and Molepiece going side by side as they go into turn 17. For the first time, Molepiece going very wide. Bazza slips through into second. Molepiece drops in to third, trying to get in the slipstream. Captain Slow still pushing out in front. Captain Slow on the hard tyres. Bazza also on the hard tyres. He is right up the backside of Captain Slow. Let's go on board with Bazza. And that is what you can see. Very little of the track, but the car in front's well lit up. But at least we can see that. As Bazza is all over Captain Slow. He is not giving him a moment to breathe, is he? Captain Slow, we can see there on the inside. Both on the hard tyres. We've got more pieces. He's trying to get involved as well. Bazza goes up the inside. Captain Slow hanging it round the outside, but managing just to keep his nose in front. Molepiece now, he is looking where he can get through. In fact, we'll jump straight on board with Molepiece so we can see this battle happening as we go through turns 7, 8 and 9 up the hill. Captain Slow just managing to keep himself in front. Molepiece just looking for a gap, isn't he? He's just waiting for one of them to make a mistake, and he will be in there. He doesn't know who to follow and get the slipstream from. Oh, Captain Slow goes deep. He's gone too deep. So Bazza goes through. Molepiece tries to follow him. Captain Slow wants to close that door on him and does just about do it. And Enzo Jack has snuck in from nowhere to take that third position away from Molepiece. Well, we didn't see him coming, did we? 1 minute he's not there, the next he is, and Enzo Jack, I think he caught everybody by surprise then, and has managed to nick up the inside and take third position away from Molepiece. And now he is challenging Captain Slow. So Enzo Jack having a fantastic opening couple of laps. He's got the fastest lap of 49.7. So Bazza out in front. He is opening a bit of a gap, a bit of a drift there as he goes through turns 2 and 3, the chicane. Down towards turn 5 now. So Bazza out in front, everybody just settling down a little bit now. Captain Slow in second, Enzo Jack third with Molepiece in fourth. Enzo Jack having a good look at the back of Captain Slow. Let's just have a look. Is Enzo Jack, is he going to make a challenge here? I think he is. He's trying to get up the inside of Captain Slow. Captain Slow trying to give him as much room as possible, but Enzo Jack having to go the long way round. Which has forced him to drop behind Captain Slow again as they go down the hill to turn 12. Now can Enzo Jack get a move done like he did on Molepiece? He's took a tighter line, he's tried to take a tighter line through turn 12, but Captain Slow has managed to keep himself in front as they go into the chicane. But Enzo Jack sticking with him. Molepiece is now right onto the back of Enzo Jack, and maybe he will be looking at making a move to get himself back up into third position and on that podium in these early stages of this race. Enzo Jack trying to keep it very tight through turn 17. A fantastic four-way battle here. We can see Scott with his wobbly wheel. He now pulls alongside Molepiece. So it is 2 by 2 here. Molepiece has dropped to 5th as Scott goes through to 4th. Enzo Jack manages to get by Captain Slow and Scott. Well, Scott has got by Captain Slow as well, so I'm not sure if Captain Slow had a bit of a moment. But the two Napa cars are now following each other with Scott, Captain Slow. Enzo Jack moves up into second and he's now on the hunt and after Bazza. Big Dan, he's back in the mix. with Harry Poppins has made his way up into 7th. Harry Poppins is now brought alongside Big Dan. He's going to have a look as they're going through turns 7 and 8. Harry Poppins desperately trying to get in front of Big Dan so he can get after the rest of the pack. Up through turn 9 and then 10. They go around 11 and then start down the hill to turn 12, and this sweeping right-hander, Big Dan takes the inside line against Molepiece and gets it done. So Big Dan moves up into 5th. Molepiece has to slot behind him into 6th. Harry Poppins still there in 7th. He's just watching it all unfold. Let's go on board with Harry Poppins as we go through the chicane. Everybody through there safely. And as I say that, it looks like Aussie Rooster scraping barrier on the exit. But Harry Poppins now lining up Molepiece. He goes up the inside. He's got Captain Slow there as well. Big Dan, he's just in front of him, and it looks like it was Captain Slow. Let me just come out of here and we will have another look at that. Oh, I've probably gone too far now. This is fantastic racing from these guys. So Captain Slow, I suspect he drifted very wide. He is in 5th. Big Dan goes up the inside to take 4th. Captain Slow, he did. He just went very deep into that turn, and that's allowed Molepiece and Harry Poppins through. Captain Slow, though, he just wants back in, doesn't he? He's having another look. So it is now Molepiece and Captain Slow fighting the way. The cameraman needs to hurry up and catch up. Molepiece just managing to keep his nose in front of Captain Slow as they head down towards the chicane. Harry Poppins has made his way up into 5th with Molepiece just behind. Big Dan is in 4th. Scott is 3rd. Enzo Jack 2nd, and Bazza still holding on to that P1. But for how long? He is on the hard tyres. Enzo Jack on the mediums. He's trying to get as much as he can done while on the medium tyres. So Bazza is doing a fantastic job of leading this race on the hard tyres. Remember, they have got to swap, so they have got a pit stop to do. So if they are on the mediums, they need to swap to hards, and if they're on the hards, as Bazza is, then he can swap to the mediums. So Bazza will have the advantage in the later part of this race, but at the minute Enzo Jack has got the softer compound tyres on and should be trying to make them work for him, as he is doing. He is trying to get onto the back of Bazza. He's trying to challenge him. Scott with the fastest lap, a 1:48.6, which is fantastic racing considering one of the wheel nuts is loose, and you can see the wobbling coming from that car. But he is having a brilliant race so far, is Scott. These three just opening up a little bit of a gap back to Harry Poppins, so Harry Poppins really needs to get a move on. He is on the hard tyres, but he needs to stay in touch of the guys in front. He doesn't want to let them get too far away from him. Big Dan in 5th, Molepiece 6th, Wayne G in 7th. But Wayne G might have made his way through the pack a little bit better, but he is on the hard tyres, so when he swaps to the mediums, I'm sure Wayne G will make up for lost time. Captain Slow in 8th. Great start to the race, but has sort of gone backwards a little bit, and has now found himself down in 8th, and he's coming under attack from Frowny. Frowny on the hard tyres as well. Aussie Rooster on the hard. Pete in 11th in the hards, on the hard. DB, Castrian and Hoppers all choosing the hard. So a lot of the guys going with hard tyres for the opening laps of this race. Now we are on lap 6, and I understand the pit window will be open at the end of this lap, should I say. So it's going to be over the next sort of 2 or 3 laps. We will see everybody coming in to get them tyres changed. Enzo Jack all over Bazza though. Let's go on board with Enzo Jack, shall we? As he's trying to get in front of Bazza before they get to the chicane, but he's not going to do it. He has got a purple sector though, so Enzo Jack has got his foot down, very cautious through there, and quite rightly so. Scott wobbling his way around in 3rd. So Enzo Jack trying to get back onto the back of Bazza. Maybe he's waiting for Bazza to pit. He might be thinking, oh, Bazza went very deep. But cuts back across, and it does look like Bazza's going into the pits. He's going to get rid of those hard tyres, so Enzo Jack will take up the lead of this race. As he stays out on the mediums, he needs to take them as far as he can. And Harry Poppins into, well, he's gone into second. He's stayed out on the hards. Molepiece third. He's on the mediums. Captain Slow on the hards. He's decided to stay out as well. Pete has stayed out on the hards. Bazza, he is on his way out. Scott was in. Big Dan's in. Wayne G is in. Frowny, Aussie Rooster, DB all into the pits. We said it, didn't we? There was going to be quite a frenzied attack on the pit crews, and that's exactly what we've got. So a lot of people have made them swaps. Enzo Jack though stayed out. Harry Poppins has stayed out. Where is Harry Poppins? There he is. I don't know what the cameraman are looking at there. A bit of nature or something. Not that he's going to see a lot in the dark. Harry Poppins stayed out on the hard tyres in second place. Molepiece, he's on the mediums. He stayed out. Moves up into third. Captain Slow is in fourth. This is a better display from Captain Slow, considering the technical issues he had in race 1. But he has moved up into fourth. He's staying out on the hard tyres. Maybe these guys will come in now, or should I say at the end of this lap. There is only a small pit window, and I think it is up to the end of lap 10, I believe. We are on lap 7, so the guys have got about 3 laps before they have to change. Bazza now in 6th after his stop. Owen Scott has picked up a 3-second penalty, so that will be for track limits, either going in or coming out of the pit. It's very cruel, but there we are. He's got it, 3 seconds. That's allowing Big Dan through. Right, up to the top. Enzo Jack and Harry Poppins, our 2 leaders, are into the pit. They are actually just going to swap tyres, so Harry Poppins will come out on mediums and Enzo Jack will come out on hards. Pete is in the pits as well. He's going to get rid of his hard tyres. But Molepiece, he's stayed out and takes up the lead now with Captain Slow in a hot pursuit in second. Bazza now moved up into third. Remember, he has pitted and he is on the medium tyres now. Enzo Jack has pitted also and is out on the hard tyres. So Bazza should really have the advantage, especially through the turns. Not necessarily in a straight line. Remember, they are all in the same car. It's this Honda NSX, so they all have the same power unit. So it is just in the corners. I would suspect that Bazza's going to have the advantage. The harder tyres, I have been told it takes about anything from 4 to 6 laps to get those hard tyres warmed up to their best. Well, if that's the case, Enzo Jack's got a bit of work to do to try and keep up with Bazza in the meantime. Harry Poppins in 5th. Now he's back out on some medium tyres. So let's see if Harry Poppins can catch up to the guys in front to take the second win of the evening. He has got Big Dan all over him. Big Dan also on the medium tyres. Wayne G, he's in 7th. He is also on the medium tyres. So the top 3 guys from race 1 now all out on the softer compound tyres for the last half of this race. We are just over halfway. Captain Slow into the pits. He's going to get rid of his hard tyres, so he will come back out on mediums, but you can see he's dropping down the pack now as the guys go flying by. So Captain Slow is going to come out way down the order. Is 10th as he comes out. Oh, and he's picked a penalty up as well. So Captain Slow rejoins in 10th. I think Pete may just get by. I'm not sure. Has he got the momentum? But Captain Slow will definitely drop down to 11th, maybe 12th. We're not sure when he serves that penalty. So Pete really doesn't have to race Captain Slow. He's just got to stay in touch. If he can stay within the 3 or 4 seconds, then when Captain Slow serves that penalty, Pete will definitely move up and take 10th away. DB, well, he might be able to get by Captain Slow as well. It's going to be interesting to see. So that's a bit unlucky for Captain Slow. Really hasn't enjoyed his time at Dragon Trail. Had to retire from race 1, come out of the pits in race 2 having made his tyre change, and he's picked up a 3-second penalty. So we're just going to see what happens to Captain Slow. We will go back up to the race leaders in a second, but once we've gone out of the chicane, you can just see the penalty bar start to fill up above Captain Slow car. So the penalty zone is just, I think it's just under the tunnel, isn't it? There it is. So Captain Slow will serve his 3 seconds. Pete goes through as we thought he would. Now will DB. So DB's got the momentum. Captain Slow desperately trying to get that NSX back up to speed, but no, DB goes through, takes 11th. So Captain Slow now down to 12th. Molepiece is just coming out of the pits, and he's going to rejoin in 9th. So we will go back up to the race leader, who is now Bazza. So Bazza has taken the lead again. Oh, and he went very deep through turn 6, which would have let Harry Poppins get a little bit closer. Harry Poppins in second, the winner of race 1, is now chasing Bazza down and looking for his second win of the night, or the day. Well, it is night now. Big Dan is in 3rd, Enzo Jack 4th, Wayne G is in 5th. Oh, who's that in front, getting all out of sorts? Was that Big Dan? Let me just go back and see if it was. It looked, it was one of the Falcons, and it, oh, get the right camera. It did look like one of the Falcon NSXs, and it may well have been Big Dan. Oh, he just couldn't get the car turned, and as he tries to correct it, he gets himself on the curbs and then a bit on the kitty litter and all over the place. Did well to actually keep on the tarmac though, Big Dan, but that has allowed Enzo Jack and Wayne G to get right up and underneath that rear wing of Big Dan. So Enzo Jack and Wayne G definitely in the slipstream. It looks like Scott's in there as well. So is Big Dan going to be held to keep these guys behind him for the remainder of this race? We've got about another 4 laps to go when we get to the end of this one. Up to our race leader Bazza. He has now got Harry Poppins literally all over him. Let's go on board with Harry Poppins as we go across the start finish line to start lap 11. Down towards turn 1. You can see there is quite a gap back to Big Dan and the guys fighting at the back. Into the chicane. Harry Poppins tries to keep it nice and tight and flowing. He did get an extra bit of speed. I think he had the better exit. Bazza not quite as slick through that one. Into turn 5, then 6, and now Harry Poppins right under the wing of Bazza. I'm just going to drop back down to the race for 3rd, and Big Dan is just managing to hold the guys off. He's got Enzo Jack, then Scott, then Wayne G. So this is where the race seems to be at the minute. It is the battle for that 3rd podium. That 3rd podium spot as Big Dan takes us down the hill towards turn 12. Hard on the brakes. See those discs glowing red hot as they try and get the car slowed down to make this turn. But Big Dan doing a fantastic job so far of keeping the rest of the guys behind him. He had a good first race, and he's just carried on where he left off. He'll be pleased with that, I'm sure. Bazza in the meantime is coming under attack from Hairy Poppins. Hairy Poppins going to have to go the long way round if he wants this. Oh, as Bazza gets a bit twitchy on the exit of turn 17, that's allowed Hairy Poppins through on the inside, and Hairy Poppins gets his nose in front. Hairy Poppins will be on the inside as they come to turn 1, but will find himself on the outside as we get to turn 2. So unless he can get right across, and I think he can, yes, he's got it done. Hairy Poppins has got the move completed and is first through the chicane. Bazza is just going to have to slot in behind him. A bit of a mistake from Bazza coming out of turn 17 where the back end started to go on him. He managed to save it, but it was enough to let Hairy Poppins through, and Hairy Poppins wasn't going to ask twice and gets himself in front, and he's looking like he wants to take the win for the second time today. So Bazza dropping into second, Big Dan is in third. He has got a little bit closer to the guys in front of him. So the two Falcon NSXs 2 and 3, they'll be pleased with those points. There are team members running throughout the league, so you will find that right the way from League of Champions down to League 4, you will find the Falcon livery on the cars throughout. 2 team members in each league, making a team of 10, all with the same livery on. There are different cars. League of Champions, I believe, is using the Mercedes AMG, the 20. League 1 is using the BMW Endurance. League 3, I think, maybe in the Porsche. I think one of the guys are using the Porsche. So yeah, a variety of cars throughout the leagues, and yeah, go and check those out. I did give all the details in race 1 of the other guys' YouTube channels, so if you watch race 1 you will get all the information you need on where to go to see the other races. Incidentally, if you do enjoy this content, then please hit the like button, and if you do want to see more and get notified of upcoming races, etc., then hit the subscribe button. And thank you to everybody that's already done that, and I hope you are enjoying these races. We also cover races on Tuesdays. We have multi-class races. Oh, as Hoppers is going wide. Well, I think Hoppers is just trying to get out of everybody's way. So yeah, we've got multi-class races on a Wednesday and a Saturday. We've got Group 2 racing on Tuesday. We've got 5 leagues running on a Sunday, so plenty of races to watch. So Hairy Poppins out in front. He is starting to pull away from Bazza. Bazza has got his teammate Big Dan just behind him in third, so whether these two will work together to try and catch up to Hairy Poppins, we don't know if there are any team orders or not, whether the guys have been told to race or just sort of protect each other. But it will be good points in the bag for the Team Falcon guys, so they will be pleased with that. Enzo Jack in fourth. He's got his teammate Brownie just behind him, so same thing again. I'm not sure on team orders if there are any. So whether Enzo Jack will move over and let Brownie through, or Brownie is happy to let Enzo Jack keep that 4th place, and he's going to try and protect it, but it doesn't look like he is. It looks like Brownie is going to pull up the inside of Enzo Jack, so it's the 2 Marlboro guys racing down towards the chicane. You do not want to be taking out your teammate. Rule number 1 when you are in a team. As very respectfully they back off there. Brownie goes through to 4th, Enzo Jack in 5th. But that has allowed Wayne G to creep up to the back of these guys in 6th. We are on lap 14, so 2 laps including this one, as Wayne G just nudges his way by Enzo Jack there as they go through turn 6. So Wayne G on a charge now. He is going to try and get that 4th position away from Frowny. Wayne G finding himself in the Marlboro sandwich as they head down the hill for turn 12, And can Wayne G get in front of Brownie? I think he's left it a bit too late to get himself on the podium, but he's definitely got his eye on 4th position as they head towards the chicane. But Brownie gets there first. Wayne G just has to slot in behind. And be patient, we have one more lap to go after this one. And no, Wayne G has made his move now. He's gone on the inside as they're towards 17 and he's got by. And it looked like Brownie let him go, really. He didn't put up much of a fight, did he? Brownie, there was no defending of that corner. But Wayne G, well, both on medium tyres, but is Brownie coming back at Wayne G now? He is side by side down towards turn 1. Come on, cameraman, keep up. So now it is Brownie who's got his nose in front ahead of Wayne G and gets into the chicane first. So a great bit of racing between these two, but Brownie has come out on top at the minute and up into 4th. I'm going to go back up to our race leader and see where he is. Harry Poppins out in front has gone around turn 6. He has got the fastest lap, 1:46.6, and is on a purple sector again. Bazza in 2nd with his teammate Big Dan in 3rd. Brownie is in 4th, just ahead of Wayne G. Enzo Jack in 6th. Then we've got Scott. He's being chased down by Aussie Rooster. There are battles all over the place. Aussie Rooster trying to have a look at the inside of Scott, although that wobbly wheel is causing all sorts of problems for Aussie Rooster. He just cannot pick his spot. We've got Pete down in 9th. DB 10th, Molepiece 11th, Captain Slow 12th, then Castrian, and then Hoppers. Right, Harry Poppins and Bazza just going through the chicane. So let's just have a look. Did Aussie Rooster manage to get by Scott? No, he's not. As they come towards the chicane, and Aussie is not going to get it done before they get to the chicane. This is the final lap. Aussie Rooster having a proper battle with Scott. He is desperate to take that 7th position away, and I'm going to go back up to Harry Poppins as he comes to face the checkered flag for the 2nd time, and a fantastic win for Harry Poppins. Bazza takes 2nd with Big Dan 3rd. Brilliant racing from these guys. Brownie in 4th, just ahead of Wayne G. Enzo Jack gets 6th. Scott is just ahead of Aussie Rooster to take 7th. Aussie 8th. Pete now coming around the final turn to take 9th with DB just behind him in 10th. Molepiece will cross the line in 11th with Captain Slow. Really not been his day today, has it, with technical issues in race 1, and then it just didn't come together for him in race 2. But Captain Slow is going to finish in 12th. With Castrian 13th, and Hoppers has already finished in 14th. So that was race 2 here at Dragon Trail. Join us next week and I shall tell you exactly where we're going to be next week. We are going to be at Watkins Glen in the US of A. Fantastic track at Watkins Glen. So join us next week. Thanks for watching this week and I shall catch you soon.